So in this video we will talk about Confluent Kafka installation on Mac. Actually this process is quite straightforward, but while doing this installation I faced some issues, so I just thought of sharing my findings with you. Okay, so let me just start with the download part. So this is the website where you can go and just download the Confluent Kafka. So if you see, there are two flavors here. One is Confluent platform, that is self-managed software actually, that is mainly for on-premise needs. And if you want to have a fully managed service of Kafka, you can just go for Confluent Cloud. So in the fully managed service, Kafka will get installed on any of your cloud provider, for example AWS, Google Cloud, Azure. You can just select the instances from those cloud environments and get the Kafka installed there, and everything is managed by Confluent platform. You don't have to do any sort of installation if you are working on fully managed service. So in this tutorial we will specifically talk about the self-managed software, that is basically for on-premise needs. Okay, so these are few conditions before we download the software that we can go through. This Kafka is always free, and if you see, there is a restriction on number of broker usage. So for example, if you are using single broker, so it is free forever, but if you are working on multiple brokers, then it's mainly for 30 days. So it's a trial version actually. If you just want to use it in a production like environment, you have to go and just purchase the licenses for that. Okay, so you can just go here and just click on this download button, and your software will start downloading, and it will just give you these options whether you need it for Kubernetes, Ansible, or these are the automated deployments. So Kubernetes is a container engine basically. So if you want to have a Kafka deployed through Kubernetes or Ansible playbooks, in that case it will give you the automated deployment version. You can click on any of these versions, but if you want to have manual deployments, you can either go for tar, zip, or Debian Ubuntu, or RHEL, or Docker images if you want to go through your DevOps deployment cycle. Our tutorial purpose, I just downloaded the zip archived version for manual deployment. So it's already there now. The download has just finished, and the zip file is there on my Mac. So as you can see, it's basically zipped file. So let me just go and just unarchive it with the archive utility of Mac. So it will take a couple of seconds. Okay, so as you can see now, I have got the unzipped version of Confluent distribution that I downloaded through Confluent website. So let me just go and check the same thing through terminal. Okay, so this is actually the Mac terminal. So this is the path. I have got this Confluent platform unzipped here in this path, users, home, downloads, and Kafka, as you can see. Okay, and if you go inside this path, let's see, we have these many directories. So out of all these subfolders, two are important for us at this point of time, basically bin and this etc. So etc folder actually has all the properties or configuration related things, and binary has all the binaries which we can use for launching the different Kafka modules or services. For example, if you want to go and just launch the producer through console, consumers, or connect services or cache equal. So this binary is very much helpful in that case. Okay, so we will talk about all these services and API in detail in the incoming lectures. But for this session, actually, we are just focusing on how we can get this uh, Confluent system working on Mac platform. Okay, so now next step is to install the Confluent CLI. Confluent CLI is basically used for managing all the services from command line interface perspective. So if you want to run all your services, if you want to start them or stop them, you can manage that through Confluent CLI. So let's see how we can get that installed. So let me just go and run this command. So one thing that we need to keep in mind is this path. So this path should point to your bin directory wherever you have unzipped your Confluent platform. For example, in my case, if you see, my bin directory exists in this path: users, home, downloads, Kafka, Confluent 5.3.1, and my bin directory resides here. So I have given the same path here, so that is something you need to take care of while running this command. Okay, so let me just copy it and just run it on the terminal. Okay, so it is running. Let's wait for some time. Okay, so we are done. This Confluent CLI is installed. We can just verify it. Let me just go to bin folder and just check it. Okay, so we can see here this Confluent CLI is now available, and it is showing the current timestamp to me that it's now 10:16 IST. So it's installed around the same time. So we can validate it this way. So our Confluent CLI installation is done successfully. Now the next step here is to install the DataGen Connect. So this is basically a connector that is used for generating the random data for a demonstration purpose. So it is advisable if you are doing POC dev environment, we can use this DataGen Connect. But this is not recommended for production environment. So since we are installing everything in local, so that is the reason I just want to install it, because it will help us in uh, understanding Connect services in our incoming lectures. Okay, so let me just go and install this also. Okay, so basically we need to give it this way because we need to execute it, so it needs to be given. Okay, so let's wait for a couple of minutes. I think it will get installed. Okay, perfect. So this is also done. Now the most important thing here is to verify the Java version. If you see on my machine, the Java version is basically 1.8. So if you are having the Java version 1.8, it's perfect. Confluent will support that. But if you are having the other version or any higher version, in that case you need to just go and check if Confluent supports that. If it does not support that version, in that case you can install the Java version 1.8.0, and you will have to set your Java home. So for example, in my case, I have JDK 1.8, and let me just show you. So if you see here, I have JDK 12 and JDK 1.8. but my default version is 1.8 here because I have set up the Java home with this command. So if you want to set up, let me just show you how we can just do it. Okay, so it's pretty simple. Java people must be very much familiar about this. Export Java underscore home equals to, okay, perfect. So uh, okay, so main reason for showing like how we can set Java underscore home and how it impacts the current distribution of Kafka is Kafka actually supports Java 8 and 11, and this Confluent platform does not support Java version 9 and 10. So in case you are having Java version 9 or 10 on your machine, you can just install 8 or 11, and you can just point your Java home to either 8 or 11, whatever you install, and to get your Confluent distribution working. Otherwise on Java 9 or 10 it will not work. Okay, so another important parameter that we need to set is the Confluent home parameter. So this is basically the installation folder on my Mac. So you can see like I install everything under the Kafka directory. I unzipped the Confluent folder. So this is the complete path I have. So I will just go and set this. So without this, uh, your installation will not run actually. So just make sure you set the Confluent home also along with the Java home. Okay, so this is done. Now I can just go and check my current directory. Oh, I am okay. I am in bin directory only. So now let me just go and run the Confluent uh, CLI, which will start the Confluent platform with all the required services locally on this my machine, and that is what I need as the outcome of this session. Okay, so I just ran this command Confluent local start, and as you can see it is starting all the services one by one. So first it's starting Zookeeper, it's already up now. Now it's starting Kafka brokers, and after that schema registry is in progress. So let's wait for a couple of seconds, and everything will be up. Kafka REST is also done. So now it's basically running Kafka Connect. So now you can see all my services are up and running. We can check them one by one. The first is Zookeeper. So Zookeeper is the first service that needs to be up and running for the remaining of the Kafka services to be working. Then Kafka schema registry, and then you can see KSQL server and your control server service is also up and running. Okay, so I think we are in good shape now. So now I will just take you through this control center URL, where just you can just go and check everything from UI perspective. Okay, so we will just go and just go in this URL. Okay, so you can see here it's showing one healthy cluster. This is the cluster which we just launched, although it's running everything on one node, that is my local machine, but for Kafka it's a one node cluster. And you can see we have one broker, and these are the partition in this, and this is the incoming and outgoing load. It is showing like 8 kilobyte per second, and 9.48 kilobyte per second is the consumption, and it is also giving you other connected services like KSQL and connect services. So we will talk about all these services in detail in the incoming sessions. So yeah, this is how your Confluent control center looks. Okay, so it will create some topics by default for processing purpose. So everything is default because we haven't done anything from application perspective. So yeah, everything is up and running now with one broker in your local mode. Okay, so as a takeaway, I would say we have to just take care of few things. uh, your Java home should point to either Java 8 or 11. That is very important. You need to get Confluent CLI installed. And third part that is very important is you need to install the Confluent home with your installation location, whatever the location you have in your machine. If you are done, if you configure these three things correctly, you won't face any issues. Okay guys, so I hope you liked my video. So I will try to just come up with more videos in this Kafka series. Thank you very much for your time and patience.